That pair of jeans you're wearing right now, it took 2,000 gallons of water to make. To put that in perspective, that's enough water for one person to drink for 3.5 years. And it gets worse. Most of that water is now toxic, poisoning rivers and communities thousands of miles away from where you bought those jeans. Today, we're diving deep into fast fashion's dirtiest secret, and I'll show you exactly how your wardrobe choices are connected to one of the world's biggest environmental disasters. The fashion industry is the second most polluting industry in the world, right after oil. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not just about carbon emissions or textile waste. The real catastrophe is happening in our water systems, and it's invisible to most consumers. Let's break down those shocking numbers. A single cotton t-shirt requires 2,700 litres of water to produce. That's what one person drinks in 2.5 years. Your favourite pair of jeans? 7,500 litres. A simple cotton dress can use up to 2,500 litres. But cotton is just the beginning of the water story. Once that cotton is grown, it needs to be processed, dyed, and treated with chemicals. This is where the real environmental nightmare begins. The dyeing process alone can use up to 150 litres of water per kilogram of fabric. And here's the kicker. Up to 90% of that water gets discharged back into local water systems loaded with toxic chemicals, heavy metals, and synthetic dyes. In countries like Bangladesh, India, and China, where most of our clothes are manufactured, entire rivers have changed colour based on what's trendy that season. The Citarum River in Indonesia, once a source of life for millions, is now one of the most polluted rivers on Earth, largely due to textile manufacturing. Fish can't survive in these waters. People living nearby suffer from skin diseases, respiratory problems, and cancer rates far above normal. But the water crisis goes beyond pollution. Cotton farming is incredibly water intensive and often happens in areas already facing water scarcity. The Aral Sea, once the fourth largest lake in the world, has shrunk by 90%, largely due to cotton irrigation. Entire communities that depended on fishing have been left with nothing but salt flats and abandoned ships. Fast fashion has accelerated this crisis exponentially. 20 years ago, fashion brands released 4 collections per year. Now some brands release new items weekly. Zara introduces 500 new designs every week. H&M produces 600 million garments annually. This constant churn means more water consumption, more pollution, and more waste. The average person now buys 60% more clothing than they did 15 years ago, but keeps each item for half as long. We're literally drowning our planet's water systems for clothes we'll wear just a few times. Here's the harsh reality. Every time you buy a $5 t-shirt, you're supporting a system that's systematically destroying water resources in developing countries. The true cost of that shirt isn't $5. It's measured in poisoned rivers, displaced communities, and a climate crisis that affects us all. But here's the good news. You have more power than you think. Every purchasing decision is a vote for the kind of world you want to live in, and there are practical steps you can take right now to be part of the solution. First, buy less, but buy better. Instead of 5 cheap shirts that'll fall apart in months, invest in one high-quality piece that'll last years. Look for brands that are transparent about their manufacturing processes and water usage. Companies like Patagonia, Eileen Fisher, and Reformation are leading the way in sustainable fashion. Second, embrace the circular fashion economy. Thrift stores, consignment shops, and clothing swaps are treasure troves of unique pieces that don't require any additional water to produce. Apps like ThreadUp, Poshmark, and Depop make second-hand shopping easier than ever. Third, learn to love what you already own. That shirt you haven't worn in months. Style it differently. Those jeans with a small tear. Learn basic mending skills or find a local tailor. Taking care of your clothes and making them last is one of the most impactful things you can do. If you're serious about building a sustainable wardrobe without breaking the bank, I've found some incredible resources that can help you transition away from fast fashion while still looking great. Check out the Sustainable Fashion Guide I've linked in the description below. It includes a comprehensive list of ethical brands at every price point, tips for building a capsule wardrobe, and even DIY natural fabric dyes you can make at home. The water crisis in fashion isn't someone else's problem. It's our collective responsibility. Every choice you make matters. When you choose quality over quantity, second-hand over new, and durability over trends, you're helping to protect water resources for communities around the world. The fashion industry will only change when consumers demand better. Your wallet is your vote, and it's time to vote for a future where fashion doesn't come at the cost of our planet's most precious resource. Start today. Look at your closet with new eyes. Before your next shopping trip, ask yourself, is this worth 2,000 gallons of water? Because that's exactly what's at stake